Hey guys, Nextras here,
Hi everyone, Filthy Casual here.
playing MapleStory, about to get that third job advancement. Too sick.
Yep.
Today we're talking about relationships.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
As chosen by you.
it's gonna be good. As it was my topic, I guess I should ask the first question.
Kick it off.
Okay, so like I have this theory that like relationships aren't like linear in that like they can be fake. I don't know if fake is the right word for it, but I think a lot of people are in like relationships because they want to be and they think it's like real, but it's not. Do you think this is true or not?
Yeah, I can imagine that being true for sure.
And have you ever done it?
No, I don't think so.
And what's your opinion of people who do it? And do you have a message for those losers? No, I'm kidding.
Jeez. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say from an outsider's perspective, whether or not that is the case. Because sometimes you could be so convinced that you are like in a real relationship that it looks to other people that you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like there's a bit
that's
of
how it actually is.
Yeah, no, I know, but it could be like there could be like a lot of grey area, if that makes sense.
What I also want to talk about is what is the level between like convincing yourself and then like convincing yourself so much that it actually is a relationship and that's just the kind of relationship you have now,
Yeah,
like some
yeah, that's
people
true.
trick themselves into that and then they stay in that for years.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But then
I don't really have respect for people who do that.
But then if they're like, they might be happy with it as well. So it's kind of like, where does the line get drawn, if that makes sense? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at what point does it start becoming?
But are
a proper
they
relationship?
really happy with it? You know what I mean? Like, how do I say?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it could be like, there could be like different kinds of happiness. Like, they might be happy with it, but maybe not like completely fulfilled, or do you know what I mean? There's like different factors to it, I think.
Got my hook shot, by the way.
What?
Hook shots, where you just hook to things and you...
Oh, okay. That's really exciting,
Thanks.
Lewis.
Thank you.
No, wait, let me just rephrase that. Oh my god, that's incredible, Lewis. Tell me more.
Thank you. So much better. All I wanted was a true reaction, man. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I felt like I just felt the need to put you down just for once in my life.
Anyway, go on. You were saying?
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, but like it's hard to like draw the line, and I think there could be some circumstances where it's actually not that bad.
Such as?
I don't know, just like in a situation where both of them are like kind of happy with it and they're like content with it, and especially if they sort of know subconsciously that that's kind of how it is, and maybe
I would argue that you can't really be truly happy with it because the context is that like originates from being unhappy, and it's basically like drinking or something to fill in the gap,
Yeah, I guess so.
I think.
I don't know. I think it could be like maybe like a temporary thing. I don't think things like that can last very long at all.
I think some people can make it last a long time, but then it just isn't real. But then that's like if it isn't real, but it works for you, maybe is that not real? I mean, how do you tell?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
I'm a perfectionist, and I like to think that I can see when I'm doing that, right? And I don't really have respect for people who do it and like treat it as if it was like a proper functioning relationship.
Right, yeah.
Like, oh, here's my like long-term partner, and it's like, no, you just got together because you two are lonely and like you don't know each other very well. Like the kind of people who like get together on like the first day of seeing each other, or like the kind of people who like post too many pictures together on Facebook, or like write too many like public statuses, and it's all just like them trying to convince themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I see that a fair amount as well. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know like what I really think of it, but
I think it's like sad that
it is a bit, yeah, for sure.
And like people see it, and like people post, like people show themselves doing it, and they don't even know. Like they're too worked up about the fact that they feel this temporary happiness that they go
exactly.
float it around the internet, showing how sort of sad they are. Really, I mean, and I know loads of people do it. It's a really common thing.
I think it's very common.
It's not like a bad thing, or like you're in a bad position because you're like trying to make yourself happy a little bit. I mean, it's completely fine to do, as long as you're aware you're doing it. I don't think it's right at all to just be like, oh, I'm in a functioning relationship when you're not, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely see where you're coming from, and it is quite sad, really, that people can kind of like fool themselves that much, like to the extent where they think there's nothing really wrong. Whereas if they were like just, you know, able to look at it from like an outsider's perspective, then it would be quite like clear to see that it's actually not like a long-term thing at all. I don't know. Where are we going, by the way, to like grind?
I haven't actually thought about that. We could go back to those robots.
Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it.
So yeah, your turn.
Yeah. So.
Unless you have any more to say on that.
I don't think so. No, not that I can think of. Okay, so what do you think of like long distance relationships?
Okay.
Just, like,
I
in
think
general.
I think it depends on your money, your money, and how busy you are in life.
Okay, yeah.
But with like social media now, it's obviously doable, and I also think that it can be quite healthy depending on your age, and because like the long distance can mean you don't get so tired of each other so quickly, or like I think it stops you from doing some of that stuff we were talking about earlier, where you're just like, you know, you're meeting each other just because you need to rather than because you want to.
Right, okay, yeah.
And it can stop that a little bit, but I think some people like who are really upset can still get into that, like, you know, I'm sad and I need this, and like the only thing I can do is a long distance relationship. I mean, you can still, if you're sad and you're just lurking about the internet or whatever, you can bump into another sad person and then feign like falling in love or whatever, and then you'd just be like, oh, I'm in a long distance relationship and I really love her, but
Yeah.
you don't. I don't know how to explain it, but
Do you think that's always the case though, or do you think sometimes people
no, I
actually do?
think you can have genuinely long distance relationships, but I don't really know how I feel about like relationships as a whole, as in like it depending on whether you're like in love or not, because I think a lot of relationships, maybe like 95% of them, are all just some like different levels of I want this because I need to feel better in some way, because like you can like people or whatever, right? But like if it was all like true love and shit, people would be it would be like socially acceptable to get married from like a really young age, and like everyone would be doing it, but that isn't the case, you know.
Right.
Everyone has breakups, everyone has relationships, you know, that just go, and it just proves that they're not all genuine in like a weird way, because they are all genuine but not properly, you know, or not serious, you know, like not honestly. I
Not
think
like on the yeah. I know where you're coming from. Do you think that's because like I kind of think that's partly because of just like natural age of people growing up, and like at like the stage in most people's lives when they're young, they're like most people still like, whether it's because they haven't met enough people or because they're still figuring out who they are or whatever, most people won't be like ready to make that kind of a commitment, just like naturally, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's some of that. You know, like a teenager wouldn't want to spend the rest of their life with someone, and people when they're younger get bored easily, and like new shit comes along, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think it's a lot to do with, you know, like I think everyone wants to experience stuff and try new things and just like have life experiences and go with people and then dump them and stuff like that. And nobody, you know, when a teenager gets with another teenager, I doubt they're thinking, okay, this is the rest of my life. I mean, they might say that, but it might just be in like a ignorant sort of, I'm a teenager and I'm feigning love and, you know, sort of thing, right?
Right, yeah.
But I think that people say they want to last forever and say it's a serious relationship, even in serious relationships which don't last forever, like even in those, just to make it feel more real, and not in like a completely aware way, even in a subjective manner, you know.
Okay.
Because I don't know, like I know some people who like get in relationships or like even like friends with benefit type things, all right, and they say they just do it to make themselves feel better, but they still do the whole like pretending to love them thing, or like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just a thing that people do, and I don't really know why. I mean, I think it's fine to like just say I want to be with you because I'm lonely, and you know, we don't need to feel for each other. I think that's fine, but a lot of people, you know, will put fake feelings into it, and not fake, but you know, like they're real and they feel it, but it isn't genuine or true to themselves. And it's really, you know, we're getting into like deep psychology here.
Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from.
Because I think like a genuine relationship or love comes from like, you know, like I don't know how to explain it really, because I would say it's like when you are like so used to having them in your life, but then, you know, like say with your family, you know, you would love your family, but that's just because they're, I don't know how to explain it, they're just there all the time, right? Like they're 100% in your life and you have to accept that, and you know, there is no leeway on that. And like say a random person you're in a relationship with, you can really enjoy it and like them, but you still know that it might not be like 100% like they're there forever, and like you could imagine your life without them, even if it's like bad.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it could happen. But I think if you ever get to that stage where you just can't imagine your life without them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That might be love. But I think a lot of people in these like needy relationships like make them like get themselves into this is why they're so convinced that they're in love. It's because they're so sad and they're like, oh, my life would be so much worse without this person, when really it would be exactly the same, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I definitely see where you're coming from, and that's like, yeah, I think that's like quite kind of linked into marriage as well to some degree, because there are a lot of like, I think there are quite a lot of people that like take the whole, like you were saying before, like fake relationship of not necessarily fake, but sort of like a selfish or feigned relationship thing far enough to the point where they get married when they actually don't like when they actually shouldn't, or they don't need to, or it's actually not like the right thing, if that makes sense.
I mean, I want to say to my viewers, right, that like I don't mean it fake in like the obvious like ignorant way that like some people might take it. Like it isn't like your love is fake, it's just like it's fake. I'm having a lot of trouble explaining it, but it isn't like my love is better than your love. It's like, you know, you need to feel that love, and it's like you're producing it yourself. It isn't like, it isn't genuine. Do you know what I mean though? It isn't like fake. It's like I'm pretending actively. It's just subconscious.
I sort of see where you're coming from.
I don't want to offend people.
I think there's a lot of grey areas though. I think it can be like really difficult to say whether it's one or the other.
I mean, because for me, I mean, I don't know how I feel about all of it as a whole, as in like, you know, I haven't been in love properly, right? And you know, when I was younger, I would say I'm in love, and as I am now, I know I wasn't, or maybe I was in teenage years, but now, you know, because I can say that, does that, you know, it just solidifies in my brain that like, you know, fake relationships exist, and that's pretty much all of them, you know?
Yeah. But then, I don't know. It's a tough one because it's always different when you look back on it.
Yeah.
You know, they say hindsight is 20/20. I think just because you're able to look back and compare it like with an objective viewpoint doesn't necessarily mean that that's like the way it always
is. But I would argue that,
if that makes sense.
I would argue that love isn't changeable. You know, like say, I don't know how to explain it. Like, okay, say I loved a girl when I was a teenager, right? And then we date, and I think I'm in love, and then when I'm an adult now, I think back and I'm like, I wasn't in love, I was just silly, like convincing myself shit, right? Okay, now say I had a parent, right? I love my parent, and then they become some like next mass murderer, or like they murder somebody I'm really close to as well. And like, my parent is a dickhead now, right? I hate them. But I still used to love them. It wasn't like, oh, I don't love them anymore because like I didn't love them before because they're a murderer now. Do you know what I mean? It's
I do see where you're coming from, and there is like that difference there for sure. I don't know though. I still think like in a lot of cases it's hard to say that because like when you think, as you said before, when you think you're in love with someone, it's such like a in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it almost always is, regardless of whether it's like a sort of feigned relationship or whether it's like an actual real thing. It's always going to be like it's an irrational thing, right? Like it's not driven by like logicality or anything. It's just a thing that you feel in the moment and you just go with it because it feels right.
But you can weigh logicality into it. Like this is like the place I'm in my life right now, is that, you know, I don't feel reliant on a relationship. I don't feel like I need one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm completely happy on my own, right? But I still like company or like want sex or whatever, right? So I would like at some point in my mind be like, okay, I want a relationship or whatever, right? But I don't. Like nobody should want a relationship. If you say I am single and I want a relationship, right, without having a specific person in mind, then that is just 100% the beginning of something fake.
Do you think so?
Yeah, you know, it's like if say I'm lonely, right, and then I get in a relationship, that is just me getting in a relationship because I'm lonely, and I can feel things for this person, but it might not, you know, it probably won't be genuine. It's just, you know, manufactured. It's like tracing.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that actually.
I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, say I get with someone now, right?
Yeah.
I'm more likely to realize that I'm just with them like temporarily, you know, or like, I don't know. I don't want to say like not genuinely, because like I can like this person and I can be in a relationship with them, but like I understand that like I won't marry them and like I won't be with them forever. And
Yeah. So basically, like the way you think is that genuine, long-lasting relationships, people that you actually want to be with for the rest of your life, usually come about
naturally.
Yeah.
You don't think I want to be in a relationship.
They don't come about
somebody,
because
then,
you think beforehand, like I want to. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that to some extent. I don't know though.
We're gonna have to talk about arranged marriages and like, you know, relationships where you just get in on a whim and then you do stay forever or whatever.
Exactly, because like my like there are lots of people who meet or, you know, however, say for example like online dating, or not even online dating, just like, you know, they meet someone because they have the mindset of like, oh, I wanna, you know, maybe try dating and try like looking for someone, and then they do end up being with them for the rest of their life. And sometimes it is like they actually, you know, it's like a proper relationship. So
but this is like the
I don't know how
line between
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
is this a relationship or is this just really simulating a relationship? And that's how that I would say it is, just simulating one. But that's just my opinion. But then, you know, if you get so close to simulating, then it doesn't really matter sometimes. It just depends on your intentions and why you're doing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
is it bad of me to like get in a relationship and know it's not going to last forever, but still do it? Because like, say I could get with someone, right? And then, you know, I could like this person, I could be in a relationship with them, but then they might want to say stuff like, oh, I love you, or like, you know, like, oh, they will talk about like, say, getting married or like having a really long relationship, or, you know, hoping that it will go a long way. And this is just their like insecurities or hope, or, you know, like this is them feeling bad about it, right?
Yeah.
And is it bad for me to just completely deny that? Because as I said in my morality video, or like the things I hate video, is I don't like telling white lies.
Yeah. I don't know. That's quite a big one, because that's very relevant to like modern society, isn't it? Because there's so much like, you know, like dating for such a short period of time that goes on, and people go out with loads of people before they find some. You know, I mean, obviously some people don't find like the one person. But even people that do, you know, could date with loads of people that they only stay with for like a year or 2 years, or, you know, only a few months. And it's like a lot of people ask the same question, like, is it bad to sort of like I guess it's almost like stringing someone along.
Yeah, it is, but not like truly. I mean,
But it's like you're both doing it.
Stringing themselves along. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
honest,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're both doing it kind of to each other in a way.
Yeah.
Or to yourselves. It's like,
is it possible for me to like have a string along like I am aware of the circumstance and they're not? So what do I do? Do I tell them and say like, I'm just gonna be with you for a few months until something else comes along, or I've fulfilled my happiness for a while? Like, how do you go about saying that? Because it's wrong to just be like, to say, oh, I love you, or this relationship is going to go on for ages, and then just break up with them out of nowhere without them knowing anything about it, after a while.
Yeah. I agree. I think you need to be at least like honest.
And I can say I've done that before. Like I've been with someone knowing I don't want to be with them forever, and knowing they are truly like dependent, or not like dependent like their life depends on it, but like they're doing this thing where they're like, oh, they think they love me or whatever.
Right.
And I like completely led them on and then just dumped them, right? And I'm trying to be more careful-ish in terms of that. Like, so when I'm getting in relationships now, I'm trying to say like, I don't love you, or like, you know what I mean? But not in like I don't know how to explain it, in a weird way.
Yeah. And I know where you're coming from, and I think you're right. I think like I think some people are just too afraid to be like brutally honest.
Yeah.
Because like the possible like outcome is like too sort of scary for them, if that makes sense. And they're scared that if they say that, then the person might just like break up with them there and then. So I mean, I understand that, but I think like in terms of like long term outcomes, it's like almost always better to just be more open about it.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about people who say like, oh, if you don't want a long-term relationship, then just don't get in one? Because I think that's like bullshit in a way. It comes from like different life views, of course, but
I don't know.
it's like,
it's a hard one actually.
and I want to talk a little bit about like people who always wait for the one. People who never experience things.
I think
does that. Jeremy has never had a girlfriend, and he's always like, oh, I don't mind, I want to wait for the one perfect woman, I'll go with quality. And it's like, how will you know what quality is if you haven't experienced?
I think there's something to be said for like finding out what you like, for sure. And I think it can be I mean, some people might already know, but I think probably most people, it's like really hard to know without trying a lot of different things, So you can't like, for example, I don't know, you can't know whether you like or don't like a certain type of girl if you've never like been out with someone like that before. And then you might think like, oh yeah, this is like the perfect. If you ever meet someone who's like, oh, finally I found like the perfect woman, and then they've been together for a while, and then he realizes, oh, actually no, that I didn't realize it before, but I actually don't like this or this about her, But at the same time, I don't know. I think for some people that maybe can work. I just think it's different for different people, really.
That's fair enough. I want to say this, right? I approve of arranged marriages, and I know a lot of people would. I can understand why it's morally wrong, but I really like that culture of like, we're a family, we're a business. I will do what's best for my children. Just keeping it strong and like marrying for like power and money instead of like true love and stuff. And it's just culture. Like, I'm not saying everyone should do that. I'm not saying I want to do that, but I understand why it happens, and I think it's kind of cool. But I do think it's morally wrong.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, if you think it's morally wrong, why do you approve of it?
I think it has pros and cons. Like the con is like this person is just forced to marry someone they've never met before.
Yeah.
But the pro is, they're getting somebody who is like in that culture, powerful, dependable. This person has been handpicked. They're going to be good. They're like, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like there
are definite reasons why it's done, yeah, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard to say because it's such like a culturally like different thing to what pretty much anyone in the West is ever like is ever going to see.
But it's like it's a big thing. Like lots of people do it.
Yeah. In a lot of cultures, it is.
I mean, when I think about how many relationships are fake in inverted commas or whatever, right? Then I see like arranged marriage is just like it doesn't like Do you not think
that's different though because they're choosing it? And surely the whole point is that it's arranged marriage is forced and there's no choice involved.
Kind of, but then
that's like the main sort of differentiator, I think.
Okay, but then it's just like different. I don't think it's bad. I mean, like you're never like, oh, I wish I could choose who my parents were. Like you get tied to your parents, and you end up loving. Well, you have to love your parents and stuff. I mean, you don't have to, but it's just like a thing.
You just kind of do, yeah.
We're used to in our lives, picking and choosing, like relationship-wise and friendship-wise, but not even friendship-wise, because you can't choose like who you go to school with and like who you're sitting next to in class and shit like that. Some of it is random. And I
think that's different though.
You can be tied to somebody's life in a random way that has been picked out for you by somebody that you do love, in a way. I mean,
I do.
Well,
I definitely see where you're coming from, and that's an interesting argument actually. I've never thought about it like that before. I still think there's like a quintessential difference between, like you said, for example, you don't choose your parents, or you don't choose who you sit next to in class in school or whatever. I still think there's a quintessential difference between that
just because somebody else makes a decision.
Between that and someone making a decision for you.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
Yeah, I think there is sort of difference there.
Because that person is going to be like close in your life. Like it's usually your parents making the decision for you.
Exactly, and come on, marriage is a bit different as well. Like marriage is a different sort of. It's someone that essentially you're going to like be living with for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, think of the
and probably having children with as well.
Like in our culture, it would be like you can fall in love with whoever you like and marry whoever you like, but then it's understandable or acceptable for your parents to just be like, okay, I'll get you through education and you'll get of age, and then you just deal with your life yourself, right? But in their culture, it's really like, I'm going to look out for this person for his entire life. Like, I'm going to make sure he marries someone who has business, who has power, who will really make him do well in life, so he doesn't have that's awesome.
It's a huge cultural thing, isn't it? It's like it's like this whole idea of like the strength of like the family and continuing like a strong family line. I think it's kind of tied into that. Which is very interesting, actually.
I mean, it's weird for me to say I agree it's morally wrong.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's really on the edge, 50-50-ish.
Right,
but it's cool.
That's fair enough.
This is weird because we're 28 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
Spent 25 minutes talking about fake relationships and just a few minutes talking about like arranged relationships, and I didn't think we could go on about it for so long on like only topics. I haven't talked about my personal relationships, I haven't talked about online relationships, we haven't talked about all sorts of shit and like relationships with family. So do you want to do this one as one of those part 2 things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Let's tackle one more topic and then we'll do a part 2 at a later date.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so it's your turn.
What, for a topic?
No, I mean for like a relationship thing.
Oh, okay. I guess we've only got time for like one more. Okay, let me think. Alright, what's your opinion on, like, or not what how involved do you think parents should be in like a like, I guess it's kind of linked into arranged marriages actually to some degree. But like in like a modern day sort of like in our society, how involved do you think parents should be in like a relationship, especially young people actually?
Okay, this is a really tough question for me.
Yeah.
I have the ideology of like let a kid fall off the bike. He's gonna get scraped, but he's gonna learn. That can be dangerous. Like, I think parents should should like judge who this person's in a relationship with. Are they going to be hurt? Really make sure they're going to be okay, but not like in an active way.
Right. Yeah.
I think they should have complete freedom. I think like if you're like, I mean, I think I hate this whole like you should have your bedroom door open or whatever. You know, they can't stay over. I think it's just stupid. If like your child wants to have someone sleep over, right? Then you actively saying no, that can't happen, right? Isn't really going to change anything whatsoever. It's only delaying something that will happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like you're not going to change their mind by not letting them do it. You know, they're still going to find ways to do it. It's just let them live and experience. You know,
and let them make mistakes. Yeah.
And it's I don't know how to explain it because I know that I might be the same when I'm a parent. You know, I might be
Yeah.
I really feel like you just have to let them. You can't control your children. When they get like to that age, you can like advise them, but you'll know when to stop them from doing stuff.
Yeah.
People in my life who just say like they're my parents, I have to do everything they say. I completely disagree with that.
Right.
You know, you're tied to that. Like you were born in their world, right? It's their responsibility to look after you. You didn't get a choice in the matter. It's not your responsibility to please your parents.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I definitely agree with that pretty much entirely.
Your parents' opinions, but you don't agree with them.
For sure. And I mean, having said that, I think it is like you said, it's a lot easier to say it than to actually do it. Because I think when you are a parent, you're probably much more
Protective.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I mean, parents always say that like if you wouldn't be saying that if you actually had kids, and you know, I can understand that. But
I mean, I'm very grateful that my mother has pretty much always let me do anything I liked.
Yeah.
Within like a few reasons, and it's really weird with my mother because she was very like she was either completely yes or completely no. Like I could see anyone I wanted, I could go and stay at anyone's houses I wanted, I could have people stay at my house, right? But I can't buy fake guns or props or something, and it took me ages to like sway her mind on that. It's like really like my mum was like, oh, experience what you want, you know. She had that lifestyle, but then she wouldn't be comfortable with some other stuff. And
I think it's one of those things that's hard to understand until you become a parent, to be honest.
Yeah. I guess we're done. We're 32 minutes in.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, next topic will be?
Food/cooking.
Alright, guys.
All related issues.
Next episode, talking about food and shit.
Yep.
I cook you up a good meal on camera.
That would actually be wicked.
It's gonna be sick.
We should do that once.
Yeah, one day. Well, you're coming over for Christmas, right? So like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Be Christmas time, making bare like real life videos, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
This is Nextrus.
I'm Filthy Casual. See you guys later.
Have a good day.
Have a nice day.
Give us a like and subscribe and shit. Like if you want to help out, it helps us out a lot. You know,
don't. Not for him, just for me.
No, that's fine as well. You know, if you want to go to this scrub, you know, go subscribe to his channel. I think it's like fucking casual, or like, you know, filthy scrub lord or something like that. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Filthy scrub lord. Oh.